All right. Hi, everybody. Antonio here with another daily reminder for you. And got something happening on this computer over here that's would have been a little distracting. But anyway, yeah. So today's daily reminder is suffering suffocates success. Suffering suffocates success. I like the alliteration, so I thought it would be fun to throw that in. There's a quote by, I think it was Thomas Leonard, who says, suffering attracts more of the same. And that ain't that the truth, as they say. You know, I think we all know that person or people who seem to wear suffering as a badge of honor. When you talk to them is, oh, my aching rheumatism. Does anybody say that? I don't know. I know I heard some, but anyway, they're complaining about business. They're complaining about life. They're complaining about their job, their spouse, their mate, their or not lack thereof, etc. And they just go on and on. And like I said, they wear it as a badge of honor. Like suffering is, they're going to get some type of award or for suffering or some type of thing, recognition for suffering. And maybe to some degree they do. They get the, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And maybe that makes them feel better. Or they get the, oh, how can I help? And maybe so. But here's the reality of it. Just like, you know, just like the quote says, is that suffering attracts more of the same. The energy that we're putting out is what we're going to get back. And if suffering is the conversation, then guess what? It's just going to bring about more suffering. And it suffocates and stifles success because your brain has to go into a completely different mode to suffer. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have challenges in life. That doesn't mean you don't have things that occur, contrast and conflict that you don't have. But suffering is a completely different conversation. Suffering is a different conversation because typically suffering comes from continuous being in this space of what do I want to say here? It comes from a space of a continuous choice of focusing on the negative. It's kind of like depression. Not that depression, I'm not going to get into the clinical aspects of depression, but really just depression is just this continuous cycle of being in this space. Depression doesn't happen in a day. You don't go from being in this one state to tomorrow being depressed. It's longevity. This long time of spending in being in that space. And it's the same thing with suffering. And I think people who choose to focus on woe is me or the negative in a situation, that brings about more suffering. Minimally, it suffocates success because your brain can't even focus on the positive when you are in a suffering mode. So whether you're suffering or not, here's a great opportunity for you to keep yourself in a positive, more optimistic space. Even if a thing is occurring in your life, are you suffering? Are you suffering? Most likely not. And even if you think you are, you're really not unless you choose to be. So don't choose suffering. So that's it for today's daily reminder. Antonio signing off. But before I do, I don't want you to suffer. I don't want your friends and family members to suffer. I want them to have success. So share this with the people that you know. Sharing is caring. Suffering suffocates success. So we don't want your friends suffering in the world. So share this video with them. Like, comment, and yes, absolutely. Hold a minute. Naima popped in. We absolutely track the vibrations we put into the universe. Repeated, habitual focus on lack just brings more. Very powerful. Absolutely. And that's where suffering comes from, is habitual focus on those negative things. Very powerful. So that's it for today, guys.